A loud hiss came from a storm drain, according to the man. Then he noticed something lethal hiding underneath. The Florida man's day had begun normally enough until an odd noise at the end of his driveway startled him. He followed the unsettling sound, of course, and saw that it originated from the storm drain in front of his house. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. He then knelt down out of curiosity to peer inside, and was horrified to discover something hideous peering out at him from the shadows inside. Sewers have become extremely terrifying since Stephen King's horror picture. It was released in the summer of 2017. Actually, after watching the movie, it's doubtful that anyone will look at anything strange in a storm drain. But Luis Camacho was not fortunate enough to have such a cautionary story to serve as a warning. Instead, his terrifying storm drain experience happened the previous winter in November 2016. Camacho, a 54-year-old auto salesperson, resides in Apopka, Florida, which is close to Orlando. Furthermore, Camacho asserts that he enjoys being among the local fauna. However, no one could hold the Floridian responsible if he began to think otherwise after what he had witnessed in the sewer that day. Camacho started it out with his daily routine. He went to the bottom of his driveway to check his mailbox. Nonetheless, he sensed a disruption abruptly. Nonetheless, to say he heard it is only partially accurate. You see, Camacho has subsequently asserted that the noise he heard that morning was also something he felt within himself. In fact, in December 2016, he told the ABC affiliate local channel WFTV that he had initially thought he was experiencing an earthquake. "I could hear it and feel it," Camacho explained. "I could feel it under my feet, the vibration. It was pretty loud and it definitely got my attention." Camacho then realized that the rumbling was coming from somewhere close by, and he followed it to its source. Indeed, the brave man tracked the disturbance and discovered that it was emanating from a storm drain. Then, with blatant disregard for any lessons learned from horror movies, Camacho decided to have a look inside. On his hands and knees in the street, Camacho peered into the darkness and saw two bright yellow predatory eyes glaring back at him. The auto salesperson then started to make out a frightening shape as his own eyes adapted to the darkness of the storm drain's innards. Amazingly, Camacho had found a large, snarling alligator tucked away in the sewer, and the enormous creature let out a terrifying hiss upon seeing him. It's possible that curiosity killed the cat after all. Thankfully, though, Camacho was spared by the storm drain's inside structure. As you can see, fortunately, the opening was too small for the mature alligator to squeeze through. Instead, the thwarted monster snarled and opened its menacing lips. "I believe it was trying to alert me to retreat," Camacho recalled. Additionally, Camacho was able to identify the gator since it was one he had previously seen at a nearby man-made pond that was intended to handle runoff water from the surrounding area. Perhaps sensing that the hiding reptile would make an ideal antagonist in a monster movie, Camacho snapped a picture with his phone. Subsequently, he posted the video he had taken that day on YouTube, where it quickly garnered over 500,000 views. Naturally, there has been a lot of discussion over Camacho's unsettling storm drain find on social media and online news sites throughout the globe. However, is finding an alligator in the sewage really that uncommon? After all, over the years, many urban legends concerning gators and crocs living in sewers have been spread. In actuality, these legends date back to the 1930s, and the most well-known setting for these legendary alligator stories is perhaps New York City's sewage system. According to legend, Manhattanite animal enthusiasts fell in love with juvenile crocodiles in the 1930s, but their passion quickly faded as the reptiles grew larger. The scaly pets of jaded New Yorkers would subsequently be flushed down the sewage system, where the abandoned novelty items flourished. Although several people have reported seeing snapping turtles in the New York City drainage system, most reports of alligator sightings have been written off as fantasy. However, the myth of the gator that lived in the New York sewers is still around. Michael Michonne, a tour guide and amateur historian who specializes in Manhattan mythology, deserves some credit for this. In August 2014, he told the website Municipal Metric, "The concept of alligators in the city sewers is a great myth." Michonne went on, "I did some research on it. I discovered that it had a solid foundation in reality. I believed that ought to be known. Furthermore, on February 9th of each year, New Yorkers commemorate an Alligators in the Sewer Day. Actually, Michonne started the incident herself. The inaugural event was held in 2010 to commemorate the 75th anniversary of a terrifying alligator sighting in East Harlem, where the animals were reportedly seen coming out of a manhole. But unlike Camacho, no one in those distant days managed to get a picture of the Harlem alligator. However, Camacho is by no means the only Florida resident who has seen an alligator in a sewage, and the numerous reports indicate that residents are more afraid of gators in their sewers than they are of evil clowns a la It. For example, the Lee County Department of Transportation, LDOT, made an astonishing find in Fort Myers on June 13, 2016. However, on that particular instance, individuals were struck initially by fragrance rather than sight. The problem was reported to LDOT by the Lee County Sheriff's Office. According to a news statement from the local administration, authorities were called about a stench emanating from a storm drain. When LDOT got there, they were able to establish that the smell was consistent with a rotting gator. Even the LDOT agents must have been taken aback by what they discovered in Fort Myers, even though they had a good idea of what was causing the stench. It's true that an enormous 11-foot-long alligator was found festering in the city's wastewater system. LDOT Director Randy Quark stated, "This was an abnormally large gator, but removal is part of what we do. Moreover, there have been at least 2 additional sightings of Florida sewage gators in 2017. An alligator that was 9 feet long and stuck in a Tampa sewage manhole was featured in a story published on the local news website palmbeachpost.com on March 21, 2017. It was understandable that it frightened the heck out of the locals. However, that time the reptile was successfully removed and moved in a secure manner. Reptile enthusiasts did not have a good conclusion to the second alligator encounter either. Sadly, it was too late to preserve the gator when a prime specimen was found in the storm sewers of the city of Cape Coral in April 2017. The size of the alligator's skeleton, which utility workers discovered 500 feet below the surface in the overflow system, would have astounded them. In fact, it's thought that the enormous gator reached a maximum length of 15 feet throughout its life. Furthermore, LDOT stated that while gators getting into sewage systems is not unheard of, their agency only receives calls each year to remove around 2 from storm drains. According to representatives of the government-run Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, sewage gators are comparatively uncommon. However, the group encourages that anyone who sees something similar to report it to them right once. Camacho, for his part, asserted that he was more intrigued than alarmed by the meeting. He may be heard saying in his video clip, "Just when you thought you've seen everything." Later on, Camacho said to WFTV, "You know I respect nature. They've given me my space and I give it theirs. To be honest, I adore it." Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.